appear to have an issue with this unit on the left hand side. Obviously this is the main side. This is the 12 volt Caravan socket outlet. Randomly sort of blows fuses. Sometimes it works, sometimes it blows a fuse. So we're going to take it to bits and have a look, see if we can suss out what the problem is. It's very difficult to see where it is because of its location. It took right in the corner of the Caravan. Can't get a real good view of it. So initial access will be by removing the cover. Then I'm going to take the 4 screws out of the left hand unit, check that the voltage is off on the control panel to these socket outlets, and then have a look at the outlet itself, see if we can decipher where the issue may lie. Okay, so the 4 retaining screws are removed, but the cabling is extremely tight. I don't think it's the actual 12 volt. Hope this is visible. There are obviously the negative and positive. That can be confirmed with the multimeter later, but it's irrelevant now. I think it's the coax that's extremely tight, so I'm going to have to investigate how to loosen or where to loosen that up to just allow a bit of space. Could probably get a 10mm spanner on there and get that open, but I'd like it to have a bit more give than that, so I'll have a look into that and see what we can find out. Okay, managed to get the 2 F connectors undone. 11mm spanner actually, not 10. The connectors are insulated, so I don't have to worry whether the power's on or off. Get those disconnected. I would suggest, because the top F connector is satellite and the bottom one is TV, that you might want to, if they don't stay put like these have, you might want to just put a mark on the top one so you know that that is the top one. Okay, so the problem seems to be as feared, that the positive connector in the bottom, which comes up just to the left there, you see it travelling up to the left of where it says 12 volts, the negative ring around the top, look at the shallow gap, only a couple of millimeters between the two. So depending on how you orientate the plug when you insert it, there's potential for shorting across the two. So hopefully you can see that. So there's the positive contact at the bottom, the retaining clips for the neck of the plug, and then that travels up the outside and exits the cylinder to become the positive terminal contact externally for the spade connector. So turn the light off. We've got 2 different adapters here, one for the light I've just been using, and the other one is just an old one I've got knocking about. Can get neither of these to short internally inside the socket. However, this phone charging one, which was acquired at a fuel filling station somewhere in Eastern Europe, when I insert this in, like orientate the negative contact on there with the positive pin in there, and if I insert it, you can hear push, push. I can turn it and get away from it, and if I locate it any other location, there's no problem obviously, because that is the point where the contact is extremely close. Now, is it a fault of this, or is it a fault of this? I'd say it's a combination of the two. That is a really crap design, having the two contacts so close together, and that has maybe pushed the boundaries a little bit on the spacings betwixt the two. So, solution, well, there are two screws that you can remove to take the back of this barrel away. So you could potentially drill out the rivet at the bottom, re-rivet an L-shaped contactor, and then cut off the original positive contact. But all I'm going to do, we've got others in the Caravan, but this one seemed to be the main problem. So I thought there was a fault with it, but it's obviously an inherent fault, not necessarily a developed or mechanical fault. So what I'm going to do is literally just identify the little blob of Tipex externally the location of that positive pin, and then can take note of that when inserting things like this and make sure that the contacts go in oriented differently to that, because we're getting through 10 amp fuses like there's no tomorrow really. But that's the issue. Yeah, good luck. Okay, we're back together. There's my little identifying dot. In fact, you can see said contact now clearer than before. How bizarre. Anyway, so now I keep the negative springs on this away from that, so I'll put them in at 42, quarter past, and no more problems, no more blown fuses. Happy days.